Okay, here we have the Den of Evil Hellscape Set 1 and 2, and this setup on the table here, everything you see in front of you is from the 2 sets, and it uses all the pieces. So I'm just going to let you spin around a little bit so you can have a little look. So it's you can figure out which pieces go where, and I'm going to just talk through which pieces have got the flexible walls, which allow you to have variety where you can use the standard central square pieces, tiles, etc. as edge wall tiles. I'm going to just highlight the ones that I've done that on for this particular setup. So I've actually used 2 of the flexible side walls just to extend this wall here. So I'm using the dead end passage as a wall unit, let's call it. I'll just roll around here so you can see that a little bit closer. So I'm using that section here as a wall, and I've just extended it with 2 of the small side walls. I'm going to leave them out now. Right beside there I've also got a single floor tile with a 4-inch wall section, so that flexible wall actually created an edge. I could equally have used that area there for my entrance, so I could just cover half of that tile, so 2 inches, with half of the wall, half of a flexible wall, and that could well be my entrance point there. So everything you see on the table here is from the 2 sets. The only things that you're not seeing are 4 of the small slate tiles, so I'm going to just quickly pop them out of my hand, and these typically are used, so I'm going to bring into piece now a set that isn't included in the Hellscape range. This is a cavern corridor, one of the long straight sections. You typically use that as an entrance enhancer, so what you can do is pop that in there, and you can see there that you've got this purple lava flowing into your standard cavern set, the more greeny grey colours versus the more purpley grey colours, and this allows you to do a quick transition. So I'm going to pop the 4th slate piece down there. So let me just block up so I can put it back to how I had it at the beginning. I'm going to just quickly put these pieces back because I wanted a little cubby hole. So although this is mainly an open cavern area, I very much want the party to not be able to see everything as they come in. And what I often use is this corner piece here. Let me just take off the other 2 small flexible walls, and as you can see here, this corner piece here has a fantastic option where you can have the party also coming in both on a corner or on a flat wall. So lots of options, and this is certainly just one set. I'm going to show you some more in this video, but I just want to just quickly highlight also the other movable pieces here. For those that aren't familiar with them, you also have 1, 2 flexible fluid movable volcano pots, as well as some extra red plumy flumes that are erupting and glowing with a slight silvery, maybe mithril hue, so possibly there's a rarer mineral deposit in there that you might want to get the party chipping away at, and obviously that goes very well with this more active boiling hot area down here. So it's very much up to you how you use the set. Obviously you want to, as a DM, make up your own rules. You want to be thinking about what's erupting, how much heat's given off, how much heat's given off in the cavern, whether this is just a natural event or whether this is a devil or demon level within a traditional Dungeons and Dragons fantasy role-playing game. So it's very, very much up to you, and the sets as they come in the boxes are very much natural. So let's say it's all about volcanoes, eruptions, and potentially a natural occurring lava event, but there are also expansion options to add devil statues and skull mounted hellspawn teleport sections, as well as other units that are specialist pieces, including doorways into hell or keeping people in or out, who knows. So plenty to look at, and what I'm going to do in this next few shorter videos is to quickly link up a few other ideas that I've had, just to give you a quick feel for the versatility, including some proper 360 spin arounds, so you can really get to see all these pieces. Here's another idea. I'm just going to do a quick 360 spin. As you can see, what I've done here is more of a corridor theme. So you have to imagine people coming in through this entrance here, and they've got to whittle their way through an adventure around finding safe routes past these natural hazards. Eventually they'll spot this narrow entrance into an absolute glowing hell. As you come into this very special, beautiful piece here, this corner piece is alive with fire and lava. I've added all kinds of extra elements into the various set, into this open area, as well as into this very enclosed, very dangerous area. So you've got lots of natural hazards here. Of course, as a DM, you decide how often these pots erupt and what kind of damage the party get from splash damage, maybe like mini fireballs. Oh, and you're just seeing here there's a flaming skeleton. As we come through here, eventually once the party get through here, let's hope they've taken their cloaks and coats off, because if they haven't, they're going to be pretty catching on fire, and you can do normal saving throw rolls for that. they come through here and eventually get to the spawn point. So this end here, this I've decided is the end, or let's say the beginning, depending on how you look at it, the entrance from, let's call it hell, the underworld, etc. As you can see, there's a shopkeeper in. What do I mean by shopkeeper? I mean there's a devil here himself. There's a little classically cloaked, sinister skeleton. He's quite a large figure and scythe figure. Now, does he want to have a conversation or does he want to kill? You can decide that as a DM. Let's just say the adventurer is on a quest to close this spawn point and to try to bring balance back to the world, or certainly this part of the dungeon. So there's a very simple, quick idea. So not just caverns, open areas. There's certainly enough pieces in across the two sets, using all the walls and the corners and the corridor pieces to make reasonable sections of corridor for the party to explore, and really creating this kind of narrow, enclosed-in feeling as well as an open space. Here is another setup that uses all of the tile pieces from the Den of Evil Hellscape sets 1 and 2. I'm going to just do a quick 360 so you can see it from all sides. Now, when I say it's used all the tile set pieces, I'm carefully saying that because I haven't actually used all of the flexible walls that's included in Hellscape Set 1. So I have used the full length 4-inch length wall, and I've also used one of the 4 2-inch length walls in this setup, and I'll come and show you where they're used in a minute, just as I complete this 360 spin. Now at the end here, I've deliberately left one entrance open because of what I'm going to do is to incorporate onto the end of there a cavern piece, just to show you how I'm going to, or how I plan to connect this with, let's say in this case, a short cavern piece. So it's a different coloration. It's obviously a greeny colour, and what I've already done is I've popped one of the purple slate link tiles that's included with the Hellscape Set 1. There's 4 of these on the end there, so very quickly you've got yourself a way of going in. And what I'm going to just do is to now show you where the other pieces I've used. So there's one of the flexible wall 4-inch lengths, and across here is one of the other 2-inch flexible walls, and I'm going to just quickly bring into shot the other bits that haven't been used. At the back here are 3 other small 2-inch section walls and the 3 remaining slate pieces. So that's another possible combination. Okay, here we have another setup with Hellscape 1 and Hellscape 2 sets pretty much used exclusively. I've got one silver, which I'm now going to call Mithril Crystal Point. That's actually from a Dwarven Forge Cavern set. There's a couple of pieces that aren't used, and I'm going to just show you some really simple options here to change this sealed cave. Also, I've got a flexible wall here with really dangerous kind of crossing points to something where the party have actually got a route through that's reasonably safe to encourage them to explore. So I'm going to just literally swap a few pieces around and just show you how easy this is. I'm going to just slide the entrance down a little bit because it works a little bit easier, because I actually really like to use as many pieces as I can. It's great fun stuff, and why not? So again, you can either have the door there or there, but the reason why I want to pick this particular entrance is because you've actually got a reasonably safe route now. So as you can see, you can encourage the party in through almost half of this big cavern area, and they can explore relatively safely down to the far corner down there. And from here they can obviously see molten floor, and you as a DM are going to be making them roll both for heat damage and every time they cross one of these lava flows, if they do, and when they eventually get the guts to cross them, you're going to roll to see whether it erupts and splashes them, etc. As well as, of course, these rumbling, great big volcanic bubbling pits that are going off every few rounds anyway. But if the party are clever, they see this and they explore, and they're brave enough to get into this area, and they have enough time to actually chip away, they can get a decent chunk of mithril ore out of here, which of course is pretty worthwhile on the marketplace. And certainly if any of the party members are looking to get rich and willing to risk a few burns, quite a few of their hit points, and the risk of burning and melting their foot or leg, or falling and worse in some of the larger places, then good luck to them. That's all part of it. And here's just an example of a very natural cavern, using no beasties or ghouls, just the natural environment is against them, and only the brave adventurers. They've got a bit of guts and have thought this through, and hopefully are carrying very few and very rare flammable items. If they're not leaving things outside in the safer part of the calm, colder climes of a cave, then they really need to think about what they do with their backpacks. So happy adventuring. Hope you have fun watching this. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.